Okay, this is going to be the dinosaur drawings of the month of November. It's been a little bit since I've recorded my last video. It's probably only been like 5 or 6 days since the last actual video was up on the channel, but I recently got a little sick and I just didn't have time, or I just didn't feel like uploading. And today, the reason why the background's different is because it's raining really hard outside my house right now, and my normal recording spot is like really close to a window, so you can hear the rain really bad there. So hopefully it's not as bad here. I don't think it is, but that's why the background's different. And it'll probably be this way for the next few videos just because I'm recording them all today. But I should go back to the normal recording location as long as the weather permits. So the first drawing we did of this month was this T-Rex. I actually really like how this drawing turned out. And it was the only drawing I did for that day, but I do really like it. I drew T-Rex without color. All the drawings I did this week were without color. I just didn't really have a ton of time to draw, or didn't really feel like it. So the drawings I did do, I didn't really have like crayons, or not crayons, but like coloring pencils or crayons. So I ended up just doing them in black and white. And I drew this T-Rex without color, and like I didn't have a figure to base it off, so the proportions are definitely a little off as far as the head, the size of the legs, and the tail length. But overall, I actually really like this T-Rex, and you might see my mess up on here as well, where I wrote Tyrannosaurus. I accidentally forgot one of the ends, and that's why the ends are kind of mushed together. And going back to the actual drawing, though, it's mainly supposed to just be a T-Rex chasing something like an Edmontosaurus. One small detail I really like is like the dust it's kicking up. I thought that was a nice little feature. And definitely had T-Rex on my mind at this time because this was right around whenever I was getting the Beast of the Mesozoic figure and had just recently gotten, or had recently ordered this Sue figure. And then for the 13th, I drew two small pictures. I had really tiny bits of paper, so I just drew two little small. I can't remember which of these I did first, so we'll just go with whichever. First, I drew this little Gorgosaurus. This is a really tiny piece of paper, so the details aren't great, but it's just a Gorgosaurus. Nothing really that special. I do like that drawing though, but like I said, it's nothing really that special. And then I drew two Apatosaurs. This is supposed to be a male and a female. The female is the one that's labeled female, and it's the one laying down, and it's a male with like a big throat sac, almost like a lizard. And yeah, it's obviously kind of based off the prehistoric planet sauropod, trying to impress the Dreadnoughtus with like the neck thing. But instead of having those air sac like balloon looking things, this is just like what lizards have. And then on the 20th, I drew two drawings. I drew a Chiansaurus, chasing something probably like a Corythoraptor. The proportions are definitely off on this one. Like the T-Rex aren't as bad, but this one's really off, I think. Legs should definitely be longer. The head maybe is a little too bulky, but yeah, you can tell. I started drawing this as something else and then decided to make it Chiansaurus, so the legs were just way too small from the start. But I do like it. It's got like a look to it that I really like, but it's definitely off proportionally or accurate-wise. If I didn't mention, yeah, it's supposed to be chasing something like a Corythoraptor with the tail fan. And then also on that day, I drew a Diplodocus. And I have actually drawn a Diplodocus already in this series. This one looks a lot different than the one I did earlier. I'll put a link to that video. I can't remember. That might have been actually the first dinosaur drawings of the month that I did a Diplodocus. But it looked a lot different. I didn't even do the spikes on the back, I think. But yeah, this is supposed to be a big male Diplodocus. It's got almost like a cow-like pattern on the back with the big just spots, or like those certain horses. And then it's got like just a striped neck with also another one of the neck frills. Or dewlaps, that's what it's called. The dewlaps that like lizards have. That's the same thing that the Apatosaurus had that I drew. But yeah, I actually really like that drawing though. And it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be like a large male on a salt plain, obviously around the breeding season. And you can see where some sauropod or something has died on this salt plain before. Obviously a little bit of Big Al inspiration with it being a salt plain. And then I did one more drawing this month. This was on the 27th. Like I said, I didn't do a ton of drawings this month, but I do like some of the ones I did. And it was a torosaurus. And I don't think this is perfect. I think the proportions are a little off for sure. But this was actually, I really like this drawing for one particular reason. It's that it's a ceratopsian that I drew without a figure to base it off of. And almost all the ceratopsians I've drawn in the past that I liked I had a figure to base it off. But without this one having a figure to base it off, I think it actually turned out pretty well to not have a figure. Obviously, I think it could be a lot better, but to not have a figure, I think it's one of my better ceratopsians that I've drawn, like without like any like figure or pictures to base it off. And obviously with torosaurus, I'd also recently got this the Field Museum torosaurus, so that's why torosaurus was definitely playing a little inspiration. But yeah, overall, I think this was a pretty good dinosaur drawings of the month. Not as many dinosaurs as I would like to draw. I did have a really cool T-Rex idea, which will probably be in the next video, or the next dinosaur drawings of the month. Not the direct next video. I've got a really cool video coming up next, but that T-Rex I was talking about will be in the next dinosaur drawings of the month, which will actually be the next year. That's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. But for me, the top 3 drawings for me, I don't know which is my actually, I probably do have a number 1 favorite. So, the 2 small drawings are definitely my least favorite. The Chansiosaurus I actually like, but it's very inaccurate, so it can't be my favorite. This is probably my top 3, and we'll go from third to first. Third is the Torosaurus. Second is the T-Rex. I actually really like how this T-Rex turned out, but my favorite is the Diplodocus. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I have a really, really cool video that's coming up. I say that a lot, but this one is going to be super awesome. It's the first of one of the top 6 figure brands I think that's out. Easily probably top 3, honestly, for me, especially after finally getting to see some of these figures in hand. So thank you all so much for watching, and I am out.